Hey guys, so I'm just going to be recording this video because I haven't seen any macros on the Igris raid event yet. So I just want to show you guys how I've been doing it, and I've managed to get all the reroll tokens. So yeah, let's go. Remember, don't be discouraged if you can't complete this. It is like a post endgame type of raid event. So if you can't complete it before level 50, you have 20 days to catch up, so don't worry. Alright, so the first thing you guys want to do is once you spawn in and go through the animation, just come to the back of the map and stand on the square I'm standing on right in the middle. And if you have the bear mount, it is better, but it's possible to do it without. It just helps you see more of the map. Alright, so first thing you want to do is just lose one raid so you have time to set up. And then once you're on the square I usually spawn the mount and then line the top of my health bar up, specifically the slash, with the bottom of the portal because it helps you see mostly what you need to see. But you can do it any way you feel like, it's just this is what worked best for me. Alright, so once you have everything set up, you can start the recording. I usually wiggle my mouse on the replay button and click it a bunch of times. Same thing with the start the first wave. And then I just instantly place my farms down, and I usually farm for about the first 4 waves before placing anything else. You see in the recording I click on and off my units a lot, because sometimes when you're recording macros it glitches and it doesn't let you click on the units properly, so just in case you miss an upgrade or two, if you're constantly clicking back on the unit, you should be on the right path, even if it messes up once or twice. So when I'm placing my units, I usually start off with 3 Jinwoos and then a Haruka. And if you place them too far away, you can upgrade her once or twice, but the money difference shouldn't really matter near the end because you're going to be selling to catch the running Igris in the end anyways. So for this part, once your speedwagons are maxed out, you just want to place down your Igrises next to your Jinwoos, but make sure that the Igris isn't standing on top so you can click each individually, because you do have to upgrade all 3 and then at least 2 Igrises near the end so the Arise has enough level to kill the bosses. By the time the first boss spawns, your Takarota should be max or nearing max level, and once that's done, just focus on maxing out all 3 of your Igrises. They should at least 2 have this spin move by the time he approaches, and that should be enough to kill this first wave. Remember to be clicking on and off your units, especially when Igris is at his final attack, because his spin move does actually move around his hitbox and it can overlap with some other units. So this part kind of slipped my mind, but as the Igris approaches, you should place down your 4 crocodiles and then also make sure your 3 Igrises have its spin move. Once the Igris dies, just make sure you're leveling your Jinwoo to max, because the buff that you gain throughout the level from the Arise is very important for later stages. Once you get the Jinwoo to max, just set the ability to auto use whenever it can, because by the time the final boss comes around it should be using it anyways, but you're stacking up the damage percentages for your 3 Igrises and your other Jinwoos. Here was another thing I messed up, but instead of focusing your second Jinwoo, you should max out the rest of your Igrises first to max, just for the macro to be a bit more consistent. But this way still works as well, but it's not needed because you're going to only have one that can use Arise. For this next part, it's not really needed for you to do anything. Just continue to level up the Igrises and the Jinwoo once those are maxed out. Yeah, the boss dies pretty quickly here, but in case he does slip past a little bit, the crocodiles with the slow and the Arise should be enough to take it out. After the boss, just continue to upgrade your characters. The 3 Igrises should be already maxed out with 1 Jinwoo, and the other Jinwoo should either be max ready or approaching max level. And once you hit wave 30, just remember to sell the farm units. Here I bring up the unit manager just because it makes selling the units easier once the Igris starts running away. But remember that the Takarota can't be sold, so just spam click the first, second, and third slot a couple times while you're selling. On this run, we got the timing so where the Igris army hit him just ahead of the rest of the units, so the damage was already done. But if it happens a bit later or a bit before, it shouldn't really matter because the damage is all that's needed, because you're going to catch him at the end anyways. Once the Igris drops to 0, he gets like a second wind and runs until just the curve that's on screen. And once he starts running, that's when we're going to sell everything and place whatever units we can, because at that point he's only like 2,000, 3,000 HP. You saw I waited a little bit longer before selling all my units, just in case the Arise army is a bit late. We don't lose all of our damage before he actually gets to that threshold. That's pretty much it. Just remember, once the raid is done, I like to spam click for about like 10 or 20 more seconds, just in case the run is a bit faster, a bit slower. It doesn't desync you from the rest of the macro. Here I just show, remember to keep it on continuous playback if you do want to keep this running, and make sure it's 1 time speed because all this is going to happen in real time. But that's about it. Thank you guys for watching.